Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I have to give my cloud computing mid semester examination. So in this video I'm going to uh, take three or four questions from my assignment and I will try to explain those questions to you all. Right. So by this way I can do my revision and I can give you some of my knowledge as well. So first of all. Uh, So the first question is, what is virtualization? Explain the need for virtualization in modern cloud computing environment. So the answer that I wrote, virtualization is a technology that allows a single physical computer to be divided into multiple virtual machines, each acting like an independent computer with its own operating system, applications, CPU, memory, and storage. So virtualization basically what does? So let's suppose you have one physical computer, or you can say server. So virtualization is a technique that divide this one physical computer into multiple virtual machines. So that's the basic of it. Virtualization is a technology that divides a physical computer or server into multiple virtual machines, and each virtual machines are independent. They are not dependent on any other virtual machine or anything else. They're independent. They have their own CPU, they have their own operating system, they have their own you can say application, they have their own memory, they have their own storage, like that, right? This is done using a software layer called a hypervisor. Uh, Example of hypervisor are VMware, Hyper-V, KUM, which sits between the hardware and the operating system. So yeah, so we learned what is virtualization, and we will see how this virtualization is done. So virtualization is a technology. So virtualization is done by a software layer called hypervisor. Hypervisor is a software layer which helps in virtualization, right? And the hypervisor sits between hardware and operating system. Let's suppose this is hardware and this is operating system. So the hypervisor will sit between both of them, and it is a software layer which helps in virtualization. Now, need for virtualization. So, virtualization is the foundation of cloud computing. Without it, cloud services like AWS, Azure, and GCP could not scale efficiently. Means without virtualization, the cloud computing services like AWS, Azure, GCP cannot scale efficiently. Means they will exist, but they will not be as big as they are right now, right? So first need is efficient resource utilization. So virtualization help in efficient resource utilization. So for efficient resource utilization, traditional softwares often use only 10 to 20% of their capacity. So the traditional servers or physical computer uh, only use 10 to 20% of their capacity, but virtual machines, the VMs, use 100% of their capacity. So we can say that with virtualization we can increase its efficiency, right? So when they are when that is a physical computer, or you can say traditional server, that can only use 10 to 20% of their full capacity, but VMs can use 100% of their capacity. And how the VM are formed? VM are formed by virtualization, right? The second point inside the efficient resource utilization is virtualization allows multiple VMs in one server. So virtualization allow multiple VMs in one server. As I told you, the virtualization technology is a technology that divides one computer into multiple virtual machines. So by that virtualization allows multiple VMs on one server. Second, virtualization maximize CPU, RAM, and storage usage. So virtualization maximizes the use of CPU, or you can say memory, storage, etc. And virtualization reduces hardware waste. Virtualization reduced the wastage of hardware. Right. Second point is scalability and flexibility. So what is scalability? Scalability Scalability means upscaling something. Means if a company is earning 1 crore per year, upscaling means it need to earn more than 1 crore. So it may be 2 crore, 3 crore, 4 crore, like that. And that is called scalability. Means upscaling. And flexibility means flexible means like, what can I say? Uh, like if I will say that I am flexible means I can work in any time. I'm not bound by anything. Like if someone will ask me to work on 10 a.m., I will work on 10 a.m. If someone ask me to work on 4 p.m., I will work on 4 p.m. If someone asks me to work on 4 a.m., I will work on 4 a.m. as well. So that's the meaning of flexibility. Means it's flexible, it had no bound, right? So for scalability and flexibility, pursuing cloud environments must scale up or down instantly. So, uh, huh, okay. So cloud environment must scale up or down instantly. Means they can't stay in a particular space for you can say more times. Like they need to either go up or go down. This is the you can say feature or disadvantage or advantage, whatever you want to say, of cloud environment. Second one is virtualization enables quick creation of new VMs. So virtualization, as I told you, that virtualization creates VMs. So virtualization enables quick creation of VMs. Virtualization enables easy resizing of CPU, RAM, and storage. Wow. So virtualization as well as resizes the CPU, RAM, and storage. Virtualization enables on-demand resource allocation. Wow. So virtualization uh, enables on-demand resource allocation. So virtualization helps in allocating the resources. Like if virtualization is dividing, let's suppose there is one physical computer and it divided it into 10 VMs. So virtualization is the one who decides how much is storage, or you can say memory, how much memory and storage each had to uh, provide, right? And then third point is cost reduction. So virtualization helps in cost reduction. So I think you all understood the term cost reduction. Cost reduction simply means reducing the cost. So virtualization reduces hardware cost. Yeah. So the third point was cost reduction. And we'll see in this point how virtualization helps in cost reduction. So first one is virtualization reduces hardware cost. So virtualization reduces the hardware cost because as I told you that it creates uh, VMs. So for VMs, VM are virtual machines. They are not hardware. They are virtual machines, right? So it reduces the hardware cost, reduces the power consumption, reduces the uh, cooling and data center space. And fourth one is reduces the maintenance and operational cost. So maintenance and operation cost it reduces as well. So fourth thing that is reduces hardware cost, power consumption, cooling in data center, and maintenance and operational costs. Right. So now 4 point is isolation and security. So isolation means what can I say? There isolation means mm, you can say that someone is living in isolation, right? Means that person does not interact with any other, and he just like to live alone. So isolation can means in term of visualization and cloud computing is that I think they are not dependent on each other. I think that's the meaning of isolation right here, because they each of VMs got their own operating system, own CPU, own memory, own storage, everything. So they are not dependent on each other. So they uh, are isolated and they are independent, right? And security means security to protect the cloud computing, or you can say VMs. Each VM is isolated from others. Failure in one VM does not affect. Yeah, I was right. So each VM is isolated from other, means each VM is independent from other, not dependent on any other VM. So the benefit of isolation is failure in one VM does not affect other. So let's suppose there are 10 VMs and each are dependent on each other. So if one is damaged or affected, it will ruin the work of all those 10, because they are all independent on each other, independent of each other. But if all of them are independent and isolated from each other, if one is damaged or one is affected, we just need to slide that off and we can work with a rest nine of those VMs, right? So this is one of the benefit of isolation. Second was different customer can safely share the same hardware. Yeah. So first one is for isolation, and second one, uh, no. Each VM is isolated from others. Different customer can safely share the same hardware. So different customer can safely share the same hardware because of its security and isolation as well. Because if each of those VMs are connected to each other or dependent to each other, if let's suppose I will share the A VM and it's dependent to B VM. So if I will share this A VM to my friend, and if he will using that VM, you need to need the access of VMB as well, because A is dependent on B, right? So the isolation, if they are all isolated or independent, I can just share that A VM to my friend and he can just utilize that VMA because it is independent or isolated, right? Now point number five, high availability and disaster recovery. So high availability means they're available in you can say everywhere. And second is disaster recovery, means let's suppose uh, some disaster or something happened that affected your cloud computing, so you can recover those data, those information. uh, it let's suppose uh, your memory card get corrupted, so that's like a disaster, and I don't think it is easy to recover our data from that memory card, right? But in case of VMs, if some disaster happened, we can recover those data as well, right? So the point for high availability and disaster recovery is virtualization supports VM snapshots. Virtualization supports line migration and easy backups and restore. So virtualization supports three streams. VM snapshot. I think VM snapshots means like a screenshot. I think I'm not entirely sure of it, but I think VM snapshots means taking a screenshot of that VM. First, second one, live migration. So live migration means I think that you can migrate from one place to another place in current time. And third one is easy backup and restore. Yeah. So third one is the important thing for disaster recovery, that it gives easy backup and restore. If I will, let's suppose I will use my something and it just get backup automatically, either automatically or manually. So if some disaster happen, we can just restore that backup data, right? So that's uh, 3.4, I think, disaster recovery. And if physical server fails, VM can be moved to another server automatically. Yeah. So if something happened to the physical server, the VM can move to another server automatically. There is no need to panic for that. We can just move our VM to another server and use it. And sixth point is uh, faster deployment. So faster deployment means, as you all can understand from the word, that faster and deployment. Faster means faster, and deployment means deploy something, right? So point for faster deployment is, instead of getting a physical server, pre-configured VM images can be deployed in, I think, minutes. Yeah. So instead instead of getting a physical server, pre-configured pre-configured VM images can be deployed in minutes. Yeah. So uh, for deployment, in traditional time, we needed to access the physical server and then deploy it. But there is no need for VMs. We can just deploy it in minutes from VM. We don't need to get the physical server or anything else. Instead of getting a physical server, ideal for DevOps and CI/CD pipelines. Yeah. So VMs is ideal for DevOps and CI/CD pipeline. DevOps means, I think, the one who are developing operating system. I think DevOps, developer operating system. I think DevOps means the one who develops operating system. I'm not entirely sure of it, but I think. And the last and seventh point is support for multiple operating systems. So one physical machine can run Linux server, Windows server, and different OS versions simultaneously. So support for multiple operating systems. Yeah. So the VMs, or you can say the server, support multiple operating system like Windows, Linux, or you can say what it was, Apple, no, iOS, OS, iOS, I think. So there are mainly three. Sorry for, I'm just feeling sleepy right now. So there are mainly three operating system: Linux, Windows, and OS. iOS, I think iOS. So it can support all those three and other operating system as well. If there are other operating system, I don't remember any other operating system, but if there are any other operating system, it supports them as well. Great for testing, development, and production. So VMs are great for testing. So if, let's suppose, we are making some product, first we need to test them. So these are great for testing, development, and production, right? So this is the first question. And I try my best to give you all a brief knowledge about that question, and I try to explain the things that I wrote. So I suppose this is it for this video right now, and signing off.